yard for us. Bit of breaking news just coming in concerning a harassment case that's been seen at Westminster Magistrates Court. We have a verdict on that, a husband and wife case. Let's go live to Laura Bundock, who's in Westminster for us. Laura, talk us through it.
Yep, Ian Puddict, a 41-year-old plumber from East London, has had 2 charges of harassment dismissed by the judge here this afternoon. He was charged with a series of harassment relating to a number of websites and a blog and a Twitter account he'd set up. He set them up to expose and reveal details of the affair his wife had had with her former boss, Tim Haynes, who was one of the directors of a leading city company, Guy Carpenter. Now, he said he did this to expose the fact that in his view, Tim Haynes was using company time and expenses to conduct his affair, something Tim Haynes always denied. Tim Haynes said, and his company said, as a result of this, he suffered from stress. The harassment caused him to resign from his job as well. But Ian Puddict has always claimed the reason he did this was because he had a right to his free expression. And I think this case is a very interesting example now of the extent to which you're allowed to express yourself using social networking sites like Twitter and writing blogs, and allowed to do this freely without facing charges of harassment. And as we've just heard in the last few minutes, Ian Puddict has had both his charges dismissed. His legal team said what he did was wholly reasonable. He never denied the fact he'd set up the websites and written the blogs. He just did it as a way of not committing. He didn't want to commit an offence and hadn't committed an offence. His barrister said in court he's guilty of telling an inconvenient truth repeatedly, but is guilty of nothing else. Now, we're waiting for some reaction from Ian Puddict shortly. He'll be due out here any time now.
What's extraordinary, Laura, is that in a way this is a victimless crime with which he was charged and later acquitted because of the reuniting of his marriage.
That's right. He's since got back together with his wife, Lena. Interestingly, we heard from her in the case as well. She claims she was the victim of harassment in this. She claims that the wife of Tim Haynes called her up at one point and said to her, "I hope you never have children. I hope you never get pregnant. And if you do, I hope that baby dies." Now, that's something Tim Haynes' wife denies ever doing. But needless to say, Lena, Ian's wife, claims that she was also the victim of harassment. The two of them, as I say, should be out of court shortly.
Laura, thanks very much indeed. Laura Bundock there at Westminster Magistrates Court with that extraordinary case about the Puddicts.